What's going on, fellow gamblers? Welcome back to Straight Betting. Today is Wednesday, February 11th, 2 days before the All-Star break. We got a massive slate today. I do got 4 official picks, and of course, guys, got a ton of lean. So if you guys want to, stay for that as well afterwards. We came up short of a winning day yesterday, guys. Not gonna lie, bro. I'll talk about this in the recap, but we got absolutely hosed. So no giveaway winner for yesterday. But guys, if we do have a positive day, make sure to drop a like, sub to the channel, comment down below to be entered in for a chance to win $25 if we do have a positive day. And with that being said, guys, let's get into the recap of yesterday. Okay, fellas, so we went 2-2. We went 3-1, but the NBA stat keepers disagree with that. No, I'm playing. But well, actually, I'm really not playing. So the 2 winners were Sengun over 18.5 points. I think he had like 20 something, low 20s or so. Definitely shot the ball pretty well. So I mean, I think that was a fine read. Cat was a really good read at 20.5, the winner. Dude, that one got there like sweat and a half, but this dude was just bricking like crazy, dude. And getting into foul trouble too, man. Like come on, Cat. Just like one normal game, bro. But then the 2 losers, guys, I'll talk about the first loser. The Kriston over 7.5 points. That was a late ad. He just wasn't aggressive, man. He did have some Sengun guarding him for a little bit. Did have I thought he had some more opportunities to shoot the ball, and he just didn't, but wasn't the best read either with that. And then, guys, Amin Thompson, 6.5 rebounds. He ends at 6. Like, nope, bro, no bullshit here. Dude, he had like 2 rebounds where they were tap-out rebounds, right? Controlled taps in the fourth quarter. Literally happened like a minute apart. It was actually ridiculous. But tapped one out to Eason. That one was a little bit dicey, I guess. But, it was definitely a controlled tap. Like, he was trying to, slap it out to a teammate. But they didn't give him that. And then, guys, if you saw my Twitter, I was definitely kind of like riled up last night, not going to lie. But then he had another controlled tap to Reed Shepherd, and just like usually at least one of them, goes your way typically, and just like none of them went there. So it hasn't been corrected yet. Looks like it's probably never going to be, but I definitely feel like we kind of got fleeced there a little bit. All right, fellas, let's stop crying and start wagering currency on player propositions. Anyways, guys, first official pick. I'm going with J-Dub, Jalen Williams. I took him under 28.5 PRA. So if you hover this over this Lakers game, you saw that he only played 24 minutes. Obviously, he missed like close to a month, a little bit less than a month, coming off of that hamstring injury, and they were very, very cautious with him. Guys, with these like injuries, and especially given that it's the All-Star break, especially given that it's OKC, right? A team that like doesn't exactly need to win games. They're doing pretty damn good as is. I do expect them to be very, very conservative still with J-Dub's minutes. So basically, guys, if you go to Oklahoma City Thunder, and what I projected him for minutes was 26 minutes. If you take Shea off the court here for OKC, and then you do J-Dub and give him 26 minutes, which is where I have him at, and I wouldn't be shocked to see 24 minutes again, quite frankly. But per 26 minutes with Shea off, guys, this year, 17.1 points, 4.2 rebounds, 4.8 assists, 26.1 PRA. Obviously, we got an under 28.5, 22.5 PA, but yeah. So obviously, guys, he's way under this in terms of like on like a permanent basis with Shea off the court. And I know what you guys might be thinking, but what about AJ Mitchell? Well, to be fair, this is a pretty small sample size, but if you do without AJ Mitchell too, then he's actually down to 25.5 too. So yeah, either or, man. I think this line is too high. J-Dub did have a good game last game in terms of scoring the ball. Definitely had really good volume, and he's going to have good usage, good volume and stuff. I will say, guys, the Lakers are a very switch-heavy defense. For someone who likes to like flow in to pull up middies and drive to the rim, the Lakers are a very, very good matchup. Now, in terms of the Suns matchup, guys, I mean, the Suns are just like a really good defense. They're not really like a funnel defense or like they don't really have a distinct scheme or anything. But if you just like look at, I mean, defense versus position, they allow the fewest. I don't really care too much about that, but I think it's like worth noting, right? But then in terms of like defensive rating, they're 8th in defense. They are 22nd in pace. While the 4th fewest assists, fifth, they're like middle of the pack in rebounding. But yeah, they're just like a good defense, man. They're a defense that you should like, tune down your projections for a little bit for like your average person. So yeah, I think this line is way too high, 28.5. I think that 27.5 PRA is fine too. But yeah, going J-Dub under 28.5 PRA for the first one, man. I think that they are just off on the minute projection, quite frankly, for him. So yeah, taking that under for the first official play. Flowing into the second one, fellas, we're going with Devin Carter. Taking good old Devin Carter of the Sacramento Kings over 26.5 PRA. So I know what you guys are thinking, like, oh, dude, you're taking J-Dub under 28.5 PRA, but a Devin Carter over 26.5. And look, man, I get it. And, it was kind of funny, like, looking at it, like, when I was sending them in simultaneously. But this line, still widely available there, pretty much at every single book, which is good to see. But yeah, Devin Carter, look at his hit rate this year, guys. 0. Has he hit this in his career? He has not hit this line in his career, but that is changing tonight, fellas. So if you go to the Sacramento Kings, you can see here, like on Props Madness especially, like, dude, I mean, everyone's out for them. The only guy who's playing is DeMar DeRozan, but, like, let's be real, too. Like, DeMar DeRozan, honestly, like, I lean under very heavily on his stuff because, I mean, he only played 20 minutes last game. It's tanking team versus tanking team. He's probably going to play, like, 16 to 20 minutes or so. So like he's basically like semi out, halfway out too, right? But no, if you take off Russell Westbrook, you take off Levine, you take off Monk, you take off Keegan Murray, you take off Sabonis, and then you take off Dennis Schroeder too, who is definitely important as like another point guard. And I think that's pretty much everyone who you need to take off. But yeah, it's not the biggest sample in the world, guys, but it is 101 minutes where he has a 25% usage rate, 19.8 points, despite 20% from deep, 6.4 rebounds, 6.7 assists per 36 minutes. And I do have Devin Carter. I do think he probably is around the 36-minute range. If you look at like Nick Clifford's minutes, I mean, now they don't have like Russell Westbrook, right? He's been playing like all the Russell Westbrook minutes, basically. As you guys can see here, per 34 minutes, guys, with all these guys off, he is at 18.7 points, 6 rebounds, 6.3 assists, 31.2 PRA as well. So I totally get it's not the biggest sample in the world, but still, I mean, guys, look at his field goal attempts too, right? Like his field goal attempts are at like 18 minutes or 18 minutes at 18 field goal attempts. Guys, a couple things I want to say about Devin Carter too, because like if you're unfamiliar with like Devin Carter, you don't really like know much about him. He did lead the Big East in scoring. So he's an older, he's like a more pro-ready guy. And the reason why he hasn't really panned out in the NBA is because he's really not good at playing off the ball, which is why his numbers with everyone off, where he's actually getting a ton of on-ball reps, right, in this sample size, look pretty good. But yeah, he led the Big East in scoring. He was like a 9 rebound per game guy too. So he's a very willing rebounder. He's obviously running point guard. You're running point guard against the Jazz. That's pretty good, right? I mean, like you're going to get a ton of assists if that's just going to be the case. His assist numbers look pretty good. So yeah, he's a guy who, in my opinion, can actually scale up his game pretty well. And I think like the books are kind of like, taking it for account, like his numbers when he's playing off the ball, more so than with like everyone off. So yeah, Devin Carter, not the best player, man, but they're playing the Jazz. On top of that, guys, like we all know that the Jazz are a brutal defense, right? The Jazz, like probably the worst defense in the league. And it's a tank game, right? We've seen the Jazz are not afraid to pretty egregiously tank. So you're probably going to get pretty limited minutes from like Jaren and all the like Nurkic and stuff and all the guys who actually would make the defense somewhat competent. So Devin Carter over 26.5 PRA is going to be the second play. Next one, guys, I am going to go over to the Charlotte Hornets. And I took LaMelo Ball over 27.5 PR. So, guys, what's his name is going to be suspended. Moussa Diabate and Miles Bridges is going to be suspended. So the first thing I want to quick show you guys here is going over to the Charlotte Hornets. And then, obviously, guys, Diabate and Bridges should absolutely be suspended here. And if you guys don't, like, remember last year, my Wolves, and I remember this very, very vividly, right? So I know they're not officially suspended yet, but same thing happened, right? Pistons, Dante DiVincenzo, and Nasrid got into a fight with like Ron Holland or whatever, and they got suspended the day of the game, and like the books just didn't like price it in. But if you look at like Props Madness, right, like the books don't have like Bridges lines up. They have like an 11.5 Grant Williams line, a 9.5 Kalkbrenner line. They're going to get suspended. So if you go to the Hornets, you take Miles Bridges off the court, you take Moussa Diabate off the court. First of all, you can see if you go over to like the rebound differential, LaMelo Ball sees a really big rebound differential. And that makes complete sense to me because if you guys have ever watched the Hornets play, Moussa Diabate is one of the best rebounders in the league sneakily on a permanent basis, but also one of the most willing rebounders. The difference between Ryan Kalkbrenner minutes and Moussa Diabate minutes is huge because all Kalkbrenner does on the defensive end is box his man out, right? All he's doing is boxing out. He's not really worried about actually grabbing the rebounds. He's just like literally boxing out for guys like LaMelo who, guard a low usage guy, a corner camper, and sit weak side and can just grab rebounds. So with Moussa off the court and Bridges off the court, plus 1.5 rebound differential. And then obviously, guys, this also makes complete sense for LaMelo and why he gets such a big usage bump too, right? So, I mean, you're going to replace Miles Bridges, who's a very he's kind of a spot up guy. He'll get a little bit of usage and a little bit of stuff ran for him. But then you're replacing him with like Grant Williams minutes, maybe some Saloon minutes, some Josh Green minutes. I mean, 3 guys who absolutely get nothing ran for them, right? Are just purely spot up guys. So it makes complete sense why his usage goes up a lot with Miles Bridges off. Makes sense for why his rebounds go off too, or go up with Moussa Diabate off too. So guys, if you do LaMelo per 30 minutes with these 2 guys off, you can see 25.3 points, 6.5 rebounds. If you want to put Brandon Miller on the court, it's definitely a pretty small sample size, but I mean, it pretty much stays the same at 31.2. So just thought I'd put Miller on the court just to clarify things too, because I know Brandon Miller has missed a decent amount of time this year as well. But yeah, no Colin Sexton. He got traded. Kobe White's out till post All-Star break too. So, I mean, obviously that looked really good with like the projection numbers here with 31.8 PR. On top of that, guys, Hawks, if we hover over here, they are second in pace. Dyson Daniels, too, might sit, he's dealing with an ankle injury. And like with the All-Star break coming up, it just kind of makes sense to sit him, probably Jalen Johnson, too. This is not going to be a good defense. It's going to be a very high-paced environment playing against Atlanta. And guys, the last thing I do want to note here, too, is that if you go to like the last 10 games, the Hawks are allowing the lowest catch and shoot frequency. And guys, I always say this, I probably say this once a video, but catch and shoot frequency, in my opinion, or not in my opinion, if catch and shoot frequency is very indicative of like overhelping, right? If you give up a lot of catch and shoot stuff, you're overhelping quite a bit. The Hawks allow like the third highest pull-up frequency over the last 10 too, and the most pull-up field goals made. So that's definitely good for high usage guys who can shoot off the bounce, like LaMelo Ball. So I think the matchup is pretty good on a per minute basis as well. All right, guys, next and final play I went with is going to be Josh Hart. I took him over 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So going over to the Knicks and Philly, this one does kind of have a lot of variance, but I'm gonna like with like the injury news and stuff, but I'm gonna quick show you guys like why I think it's a good bet regardless. So this line is still widely available, which is awesome to see. But basically reasoning behind Josh Hart, guys. So we don't know if Anunoby's going to play. I would lean towards him not playing, but I do think that this is a game that he wants to play in. Knicks Sixers is always like a great game. It's a good rivalry that teams get up for. So, guys, if we do with OG in, with Robinson in, with Brunson in, with Townsend, with Mikal Bridges in, look at where his line's been closing, right? 25.5 against the Lakers, 25.5 against Blazers, 24.5, 25.5, 24.5, 25.5, 24.5. And then this was his first game back from injury against the Blazers, and he still closed 23.5. So just off rip, guys, like even if OG plays, like, I mean, he's been closing like 24, 25.5 basically every game, right? And now we're getting a 22.5 when OG might not even play. That doesn't really make a ton of sense to me personally. But guys, in terms of the matchup, if we go on Props Madness here and we go like, first of all, guys, we can just like zoom out broadly, right? And do this here. I mean, he's at 25 PRA, 30.5 minutes. Obviously, that looks good. If you do Josh Hart with like 26 to 36 minutes, obviously, that's going to look really good too. 65.5% of the times, he is indeed going over. A couple things I want to note about the matchup. So, guys, we don't, and this is like definitely important to an extent. It's definitely important to an extent. I definitely want Joel Embiid to play because obviously, guys, like you're going to put Cat on him. He's not really going to be able to defensive rebound. He might get into foul trouble. Then you're going to put Mitch on him. He's not really going to be defensive rebounding either. He's going to be playing a ton of on-ball defense. So, and obviously, guys, they put Bridges on Maxey. So Josh Hart's really just sitting weak side. And as you guys can see here, if you go to like Josh Hart's like head-to-head history against the Philadelphia 76ers, and this is like more so like an RA angle, and I'll get into the points angle in a little bit. But if you do head-to-head against the Sixers, I mean, guys, this is on 41.4 minutes, to be fair, right? You definitely don't have him for 41.4 minutes. But he is at 18.6 RA, like against the Sixers in the Nurse era, which is just like pretty crazy. And you saw they just played very recently. Guys, Josh Hart had 13 rebounds, 7 assists as well. So, I mean, I'm talking about the RA angle here. If you guys want to play RA, I say absolutely go for it. But yeah, it's a really good spot with like if Joel Embiid plays for sure. But then in terms of scoring, guys, if you go to like last 10 games, Philadelphia is allowing the 5th highest catch and shoot frequency. And like I said, Josh Hart being a very low usage guy, being a guy who doesn't exactly get a ton of stuff ran for him, catch and shoot frequency is just pretty indicative, right, of being willing to make things a little bit tough on the high usage guys like the Brunsons of the world and stuff. So I know that Joel Embiid will play drop coverage and stuff on Jalen Brunson, but who knows, man? Maybe they put. I don't think you want Joel guarding Cat either, so I think there is a decent chance that you get Joel guarding Josh Hart as well, and that would absolutely be huge for his points too. And also, guys, just at 10.5, like. Like I said, guys, in terms of like the reason why I totally get there's a lot of uncertainty, but the reason why I'm so comfortable playing this is because of where his line has been closing with everyone healthy anyways. So yeah, Josh Hart, love this one, man. Love this PRA line. Like I said, if you guys want to go play RA too, I think that's a really good look too. But I think that, we don't really, like 10.5 is objectively low for Josh Hart anyways. So Yeah. Going with over 22.5 PRA here for Josh Hart. All right, fellas, and going to get into the game breakdowns, but first, guys, going to quick shout out to the beautiful tool behind me. Good old props madness. It is the tool that I use every single day. It's my hub for quite literally everything. They have every single filter. I obviously show you guys how to use it, how I think is valuable to use it in every single video. So if you guys are interested in using this for yourself, it is, in my opinion, the best and most valuable NBA research tool out there in market. So make sure to go check it out. Use code SB25 to get 25% off your first purchase as well. All right, fellas, game breakdown time. There's like a million stuff, guys, or a million games today. So I'm going to tread lightly. I didn't even like look into this Bucks Magic game, but we know how they defend, right? Bucks are a pretty big catch and shoot funnel. The Magic are, a great spot for high usage guys. I know Porter had a really good game against them last time. Cam Thomas, guys, he barely played any minutes. He got some garbage time minutes. I think he literally got like 9 or 8 minutes in regulation. So, I mean, like a very sneaky look. Could be like an under rebounds and assist, which doesn't even exist, I guess. But yeah, okay, I'm done talking about this game. Atlanta and Charlotte, guys. So I do have a couple thoughts on this one. First off, like I said, I don't think this dude is going to play. I also don't think Jalen Johnson's really going to play either. So, like, honestly, maybe I should have spent a little bit more time looking into this game, especially on the Hawks side of things. Yeah, I really don't think Jalen Johnson's going to play, to be completely honest with you, bro. Like, he missed the last game with like a calf injury, I believe, or calf or knee. Actually, I think it was a knee. So I guess that's a little bit different. But I actually lean towards both Jalen and Dyson not playing. But I will say, guys, if Dyson does play, he's going to be an absolute smash. So I might actually just quick add this one, to be honest, to my card. And then if he plays, he plays or whatever. But yeah, guys, Dyson, I think, is in an elite spot, right? Because you can't put Kalkbrenner on Onyeka Okongwu. You just can't, bro. Like, Onyeka's too good of a shooter. Kalkbrenner can't move. He's Klingon Jr. And what they've been doing anyways is they'll guard Dyson with a center. So I don't know if Dyson's going to play, but if you look at his head-to-head games against the Hornets, he's had very, very good usage rates in each game. It's like he's at a 21% usage in these games, scoring 22 points, taking 17 shots, scoring 14 points, taking 12 shots, scoring 11 points, taking 13 shots. So, I mean, this is an absolute smash of Dyson's if he's going to play. Like I said, I kind of lean towards him not playing, but if he does play, absolute smash. Wizards Cavs, didn't really look into this game much. I mean, this game's just a complete shit show, dude. I mean, what's the spread on this one? Like, honestly, dude, it's 18 points, like ridiculous stuff. I will say there should be no worries about like, needing to tank because you're winning or anything. So I guess I would think that this is like the higher outcome of like minutes for like an Alex Sarr, a Keyshawn George, a Trey Johnson. I don't know, man. I know the Wizards have been getting absolutely killed in the paint. So obviously there is big time minute concerns for Jared Allen. But what I will know too about Jared Allen is that, since Harden has gotten there, Harden is so good at feeding the roll man, dude. Like, he is absolutely elite against this. Now you're getting against the Wizards, and if you just do the Cavs, and let's just take Evan Mobley off the court, bro. Just take Evan Mobley off the court and you do Jared Allen. I mean, if this game is close, which it's not going to be, but he played 35 minutes last game, 33 the game before. Minutes have been very, very solid. I'd probably have him, honestly, dude, because the spread is so damn big. I'd probably have him for like 28 minutes. And guys, even with just Mobley off and 29 minutes or 28 minutes, I mean, guys, honestly, I might actually play this, bro. This is a really good bet. But yeah, Jared Allen at 15.5 points, man. I think that you can make an easy case for the over there. Everything looks really good here, and I actually kind of regret just not playing this beforehand. But yeah, there is like the massive blow concerns and stuff. Indy and Brooklyn, we have like no props listed, dude. I'd be stunned if you get Siakam and Nemhard are not going to play. So guys, I guess if they're going to rest pretty much everyone here. If you do it without Siakam, without Nemhard, and the only prop we have listed here is going to be Jay Huff. I think that he would probably play. He's played 2 games, I guess in a somewhat close game. They don't have Isaiah Jackson anymore, and they do have Micah Potter. I would think Jay Huff's probably around this 24-minute range, and it's definitely a really good matchup with the Nets. Nets are actually like a really, really good matchup. If you do like points to position, 21st. Pick and roll, man, they give up a lot. Transition, spot up. I mean, yeah, this is a really good matchup for Jay Huff, but I don't know. Yeah, this game is just a crapshoot. Nick Claxton's questionable. Like, who knows what the hell's going on? Porter's already out, so yeah, that's going to be a big tank off. Bulls Celtics, guys. So got a little narrative going on, right? Anthony's back in Boston for sure. I do think they're going to be pretty aggressive against Simons. Just they don't allow much to pull ups. They don't allow much from less than 10 feet. They're, like I said, I mean, we all know they're a pretty big catch and shoot funnel. The Celtics are. They will leave iffy shooters open like an Isaac Okoro. Honestly, Jaden Ivey, I don't think that they really care much about him shooting. I know that let's see. Yeah, his 3-point volume has been pretty good against Boston this year, obviously on way less minutes, but also way more gravity around him. But yeah, honestly, guys, I don't like the matchup for Colin Sexton. His role, we bet on him last game. His offensive role is really good. But yeah, don't really have too much on this game, man. Things could get pretty ugly. I will say, guys, the Bulls have been giving up the most like assists in the league by like a wide margin over the last 10 games. So Peyton Pritchard, if you do with Jaylen Brown, and if you just do like the last like 4 games, so he's in a new role with coming off the bench, a better role, I think. But yeah, this is like such a small sample size, and he had like a 7 assist game against the Knicks, which is really good. Honestly, a 7 assist game against the Mavs is pretty good. Potential assists haven't been anything crazy, but this is probably the strongest lean I have, guys. Is Peyton Pritchard over 5.5 assists. Detroit, Toronto. I didn't really look into this one a ton. If you go over to my site, this is another one where you're going to get Stewart and Duren being suspended, so you're going to get a ton of Paul Reed minutes. The Raptors are a pretty aggressive team against first options, so that's not great for Cade Cunningham. But if we go to the Detroit Pistons, and we take Stewart and Duren off the court, I think that in terms of like scoring, you might just want to look at with Duren off the court. But one thing that popped here was Tobias Harris is much more active on the glass with Stewart off and Duren off the court, which makes sense, right? He's only played 65 minutes, but even if you just take Jalen Duren off the court, Tobias seems a pretty big rebounding increase too. So yeah, I mean, Tobias at 5.5 rebounds, minutes should be pretty good as well. I think that's like pretty interesting, especially you're getting a plus money. So that's probably my strongest lean there. But yeah, I don't really have much outside of that, man. Maybe you can probably make a case for like better Asar minutes. But guys, I do think Paul Reed is like who I'm going to look at. Paul Reed played 18 straight minutes, guys, in that Hornets game. So he's going to play for sure. But I guess the Raptors too are a team that you kind of go small against. CMB is out though, but Pirtle's questionable, and you can definitely go smaller. So I don't know if you guys are, Asar Thompson might be a little bit interesting too. Like, I just think that there's a lot of guys like without Holland, without Duren and Stewart, to me, it makes sense to give Asar some more minutes, I guess. And his PRA is at 19.5. So, I mean, if you do like Asar with, I don't know, 25 to like 31 minutes, if you project him for like 28, his hit rates are looking halfway decent. He's averaging 6.5 rebounds. His rebound hit rate looks really good, but that you're getting pretty juiced there outside of that Novik line. So, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that game. Going over to Knicks at 76. Actually, one last thing I do want to say too with this. The rim protection of the Pistons rim protection is going to be completely worse, way worse. So yeah, these lines look like they do have a little bit of like the Pistons tax to them, like a little bit. Scotty closed at 18.5 against Indiana last game. Never mind, I am making that up completely. Okay. Let's move on to the next game here. Knicks at Sixers. Like I said, Brunson, the catch and shoot frequency that the Sixers have been giving up recently is kind of throwing me off like a little bit. But I was on this over last game. And this is a spot he's going to get up for too. So I think that this is like a wee bit low. In terms of the Sixers, we don't really know who's going to play. So I didn't really look too into that. Guys, one angle I will be looking for if Joel Embiid does play is going to be some Karl Anthony Towns unders. Yeah, I think like this line maybe goes up. This line definitely feels like the books are pricing in OG playing. So if you get OG ruled out, I mean, he closed 36.5 against Indy. Let's see, what was the last time? So with OG, with Mitch, closed at like 33.5 against the Nuggets. I don't know, man. I think you might get this line going up a little bit, but I mean, obviously, guys, like he got into ridiculous foul trouble last game. I mean, he just gets into foul trouble every game. It seems like, dude, like, why are you getting into foul trouble against the Pacers? But yeah, terrible rebounding matchup. Foul trouble is very, very likely. So I think some cat unders with Mitch playing is going to lower his minutes a little bit anyways. But yeah, I think that cat unders make a lot of sense. Just definitely want Joel Embiid to play for that. Was there anything else I looked at here? I don't think that there was. Okay, cool. Going on to Clippers Houston. Honestly, guys, I hate betting on these little like baseball series games personally. Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about this. I didn't even like look at that game. Heat Pelicans. I don't think I had anything for this game either, to be honest with you. Yeah, no, I definitely didn't. Portland, Minnesota. So Anthony Edwards just got downgraded to questionable with an illness, but guys, I actually really like his over. One thing I'm going to note for this game, guys, is that something that I noticed last game, and definitely the Hawks played into this, but dude, Ayo Dosunmu, he like makes our pace like so much faster, dude. Like he just sprints the ball up the court every single time like he's in the game. and we just get into actions way faster. So I think that IO joining our team is like really going to increase our pace. We've actually, the Wolves are actually, what are we in pace right now? I think we're like top 10. Yeah, we're 10th in pace. Blazers are 7th in pace. I think this game's going to be pretty high paced. Obviously, Ant might not play due to illness. Maybe he just wants to mail it in. But if not, he's going to get, the cling and drop coverage. A very sneaky look I like, guys, is, and this is gone. Yeah, there was a Rudy 1.5 assist line that I thought was pretty interesting. I think that he could get a couple handoff assists here or something, maybe fluke into like something else. But yeah, anything else that I liked here? So it's definitely dicey with Ant being questionable, but yeah, okay. Sorry, fellas. The Ant being questionable. I will say, guys, if Ant closes at 27.5, if he plays 27.5 is a line I'll probably be on personally. I really, really like that. Another one I did kind of look at, guys, was Kamara under 12.5 points. I mean, 38% of his points come via spot up. Like I said, I do like this is just like an overs game, but with Denny, Jeremy, Drew playing, Scoot Henderson playing, I know Shaden's still out, but I think this is a pretty good sell high on Tamani personally. He's just not going to get much usage in the half court whatsoever against the Wolves, who just don't allow anything to spot up. Okay. OKC and Phoenix, lean under on Booker stuff, lean under on Mark Williams stuff too at 18.5 PR, just with Hartenstein and Holmgren playing. They're not going to give up much in the paint whatsoever. It is the second night of a back-to-back too, I will say. He played 25 minutes in that front end, 23 the second game, but this was a blowout. I was on his under. He would have played more. So I don't really think that I don't think he's going to play 30 plus minutes. I think 29 is probably a ceiling for Mark Williams here. And if you do 21 to 29, I guess we could see what the hit rate looks like. It's a little bit over at 21.2, but OKC is a brutal matchup for him, obviously, especially with Hartenstein and Chet playing. He's not going to get easy stuff at the rim or easy stuff on the glass. So I do lean under pretty heavily on Mark Williams as well here. And then on the Thunder, was there anything else I liked? I don't really think so. All right. Sacramento, Utah. Another guy I think that overs are pretty good for is Nee Clifford. Just, same reasoning. I think that his over 4.5 assists is actually a really good look. And this keeps on steaming up. Honestly, guys, if you go back to my site too, and if you go to the Sacramento Kings, Nee Clifford's probably going to play 36 minutes once again here. So if you do with all these guys off the courts and also Dennis Schroeder off the court, Nee Clifford, guys, he's at 5.6 assists per 36 minutes. He was a really good passing prospect coming out of college. So yeah, 5.6 assists per 36 minutes. And then they're playing the Jazz, right? And you're getting a super good plus money. So honestly, guys, I might even go back and play this one too. I think that this is a really, really mispriced. And last game against the Pelicans, guys, 37 minutes, 6 assists, 13 potentials. Jazz are the best assist matchup in the league. So yeah. In terms of Jazz stuff, guys, I do think that, maybe with it being Jaren Jackson's home opener, they do maybe play him a little bit. But guys, this is another thing too, just the derivative markets, first quarter stuff is super safe. And I don't know if the books, specifically the soft books, right? If you head over to 365 right now, I bet that Jaren Jackson's first quarter line is literally just 1/4 of his baseline, which is completely mispriced, right? He's not going to play the fourth quarter in this game. Especially against the Kings who are tanking, he's not going to play the first quarter. And guys, I just pulled it up right now. Jaren Jackson has a 6.5 first quarter line at 365, which in my opinion is a really, really bad line because he's also been playing good first quarter minutes too. If you look at this, let's see, 1/4. Let's see how many he played 10 first quarter, 8 first quarter in his first two. So he'll probably play 9 first quarter minutes, dude. And yeah, against the Kings, great matchup. That 6.5 line at 365 is great too, by the way. But yeah, is there anything else I like in this game? I don't know. It's tough, dude. I actually do like Ace Bailey overs at 20.5 PRA. Like I said, they're going to keep on tanking. He played 37 minutes last game, 31 the game before that. But yeah, this is a game that they clearly want to lose too. So if you just do Ace with 30 plus minutes, let's do 30 to, 38 or something. Yeah, 9 out of 15. And I think the early games are a little bit misleading too because he's going to get a lot of the minutes, especially in the tanking minutes without Laurie, without Keontae, without Jaren, without Nurkic. So yeah, if you guys want to take some Ace stuff, I think that he's pretty low too. Going over to Sacramento or Memphis at Denver, to be honest, guys, don't really have any opinions. I think that Jonas should crush on a per minute basis here. And, I think that they probably want to take it light. It's a spot where they're huge favorites against Memphis. I think this is a really good Jonas spot. I did feel the line was pretty efficient, but I think he'll play 15 minutes again here. And if you just go to the Denver Nuggets, where are the Nugs? The Nugs. Denver Nuggets, and then you do Jonas Valanciunas. Let's see, where is this? Let's do with Aaron Gordon off the court and also with Jokic off the court, because him and Jokic aren't going to share the floor together, and they definitely have some minutes where they're sharing the floor. And then per 15 minutes, he's at 9.6, 5.4, 15 PR. This is an amazing. I mean, this is like the perfect matchup for him to like crush on the offensive glass too. So I might keep an eye on this Jonas one and see like where it ends up at, and if it drops at all, I'll probably wind up playing this one officially. Okay, let's see. Sacramento or San Antonio at Golden State, guys. Two props I like. Draymond over 1.5 threes. Yeah, he's gonna get guarded by Wemby, be left pretty open. I will say it's like without anyone with gravity, it's not gonna be like he got left wide open the first 2 times they played. Shot 0 for 4 and was like, I was on his threes this game. He was so scared to shoot, bro. It was actually ridiculous. But he took 12 shots, right? That just like is like indicative of him being left wide open, right? And then he took 10 shots. I mean, guys, he shot like a total of 4 for 22 and 0 for 11 from deep. But the volume was absolutely there. But also, I think Steph's gravity created like a lot of those open looks. So that's just something to be cautious with. Another thing, guys, is under 10.5 rebounds and assists. I mean, guys, first of all, his minutes suck. Like, he literally plays like 24 minutes, like pretty much every game, it seems like, and except for like the Lakers, which, you know, he wanted to let him play against Bron and blah, 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 whatever, probably. So if you do Draymond with like 20 to 28 minutes, first of all, his hit rate stinks here. And obviously, guys, his rebounds and assists go way down with Steph off the court. So, yeah, I mean, if you can get this, I don't know why FanDuel doesn't have this lineup, or else it would have been an official for me. But yeah, 10.5 rebounds and assists, I think, is a whack line to take the under two. So yeah, was there anything else in this game I liked? I don't think so. Probably a good Dylan Harper spot. Stephon Castle should not play. So yeah, if you guys want to take some Dill Harp stuff, I think that's a halfway decent look too. All right, fellas, that's going to do it. As always, guys, I do appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure to drop a like, sub to the channel, comment down below for a chance to win $25 on your way out if we do have a profitable day. And fellas, this is probably going to be a pretty good slate for, you know, the late looks, because there's just so many damn games. I bet you're going to get a ton of random people resting too. So this late ads thing should be pretty good. I might even go live like a little bit early. I'll keep you guys posted on that. With that being said, guys, you guys enjoy your Wednesday, and I'll catch you guys tonight.